Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. We will get started here shortly. And just to mention right away, I have a hard stop here in a couple hours. I have some people coming over, so we won't be having an epic 3.5 to 4 hour stream like we do most Saturdays, but that's okay, I think. I'd rather have 2 hours of Skyrim than no Skyrim, right? Looks like we're already getting a little bit of buffering. For the most part, the stream health is in excellent condition, but every once in a while it's buffering. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. If that becomes too much of an issue, we might have to call the stream early. There's not a whole lot I can do about it except for call my ISP and tell them to fix their shit, you know? And I feel like they were just here, like, earlier in the week, supposedly fixing their shit, so... Let's do a quick speed test and see where we're at here. Download is looking nominal. I think I'm paying for about 150 megabits per second down and 10 megabits per second up, although the streaming should only be using 6. So if I'm at 8 up, then that's plenty. Although it seems to be a little bit all over the place, so I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Okay. Well, seeing as how I have to get the stream wrapped up early, I'm going to go ahead and get started right now, I think. Not a ton of people watching at the moment, but people will filter in as they always do, I believe. Alright, where am I at here? Okay, so here we are with Brungarr Mammoth-Ban, living relic from the days that Atmorans have migrated south
You should see me when you get old,
in an
stranger.
attempt to settle Skyrim, before it was really even Skyrim. Let's see, what have we done here? Not much in terms of Brungarr himself here. I think we leveled up a few times. We're now on the cusp of reaching level 31. And I gotta try to remember what perks I took here. Warrior's Flame. I think I took Sacred Flame here. I leveled up a few times, took a few perks. This one just adds healing to the Warrior's Flame effect. So Warrior's Flame will randomly go around and affect random people on the battlefield, allies and enemies alike. If it's affecting allies, it will restore 20 points of magicka for 5 seconds. Per second for 5 seconds. So now it actually affects healing as well. Health. So that's very helpful. I don't think it actually drains the health of enemies, though. I think I need... Yeah, it's only living allies. So that's not as great, but it will affect magic pools for sure. Alteration, I believe I took this alter self attributes. I took stamina just because this build is so heavily reliant on power attacks with the stave spells and things like that. I'm very much speccing for power attacks, and I need that stamina in order to keep that going. I really need stamina in the tank for after all those power attacks to dodge my way out of there if I'm fighting something big like a giant or a mammoth. So there's that. Continuing trying to level enchanting as much as possible because I would like to enchant my gear. I don't know how I'm going to enchant that yet, but I would also like to take Spell Scribe. This is probably, along with Lion's Arrow, my favorite perk in all of Coordinator. It just allows you to assign a single non-concentration spell to a slot, and then when you do a power attack, it procs or engages that spell, which is awesome. It enables a lot of creativity with your gameplay, and I'm looking forward to using that for Brungarr as well. So let's see, what else did we do? We got some blocking in as well. I took the first perk in Apocalypse Proof. Because I'm playing at Legendary difficulty, that 50% does help, but it doesn't help all that much. That 50%, even if I do get a timed block on an incoming spell, I'm still going to be dead very quickly. So I'm really waiting for level 70 to get the second rank in this perk. That way I can completely mitigate any spell damage there, which will be good. That will give me an option besides just step dodging to get through spells, since I haven't really taken a ward or anything with this character. Let's see. Also did two-handed. I believe I took this a couple perks here. just to round out my power attacks a little bit more, because power attacks are what weaken our enemy even further with Stave of Ferocity that we have going. That spell that's hooked up to Okado's Recital, which is a shaman spell in Triumvirate. So what Execute does is a forward power attack with a battle axe delivers a 20 times critical damage if the target is below 30% health. So basically what that does is will basically really just outright kill any enemy that still has 30% health if we can land a forward power attack on them. This is more helpful for large enemies with huge amounts of health, such as dragons, giants, mammoths, things like that. Once we see that their health pools are around 30% or so, then we're going to start looking for that forward power attack, I believe. Assuming we still have stamina left at that point, because we were probably in a prolonged battle at that point. Something to look out for. This one was also really interesting to me, this Decimate one. So a sideways power attack will hit all targets in front of you, so it's a pretty wide effective area from what I've seen, which is good. You do a sideways power attack, everybody in front of you in a very wide cone is going to take power attack damage right off the bat. But it's also going to apply that Stave of Ferocity effect to everybody in front of you as well. And I'll do a refresher of the Stave of Ferocity effect in just a second. And also you get a 20% damage boost for every enemy within 8 feet. And I believe that's not just the cone in front of you. So this one was actually a bit of a no-brainer. So whenever I see a group of enemies, probably attacking my totem or whatever, I'm going to look for the sideways power attack as soon as I can to get them all affected with that same Stave of Ferocity effect. So that's a really good one that I'm excited about there. And then light armor, we got all the way up to 65, but there's not really anything else that I was too excited to take here at the moment that's available at level 60. It's all pretty much just movement buffs. This evasive leap might be helpful, but I'm not really sure about that. We'll see. And it looks like my uploads have dipped again. No buffering, just maybe some video quality drops there. That's okay. To keep an eye on it. And I think that's it. That pretty much touches on all the different skills. Conjuration we got up to level 64, but again, I'm not taking any perks in that until we get to the ultimate perk at level 100, which is March of Oblivion, and that will allow me to have multiple summons, namely multiple totems, which will be great. I can buff the allies and nerf the enemies all at once right at the beginning of battle by summoning more than one totem. Also with Shore's devotee status, that spirit shield thing counts as has a summon as well, so that guy will be out wrecking the battlefield for us as well, with totems and everything. So that is something to look forward to for sure. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I have used all my training for this level, but we have level 31 coming up very shortly here. And I'm trying to decide what I'm going to spend my training points in this time around. Alterations at 62. Block is at 60. Two-handed is at 61. So it looks like probably block. We'll hit up Nyada at level 31. And in terms of gold, I think I'm doing pretty well here. Still want to be stacking those septums as high as possible. But Yeah, so we are in Solitude now. We made our way all the way over here. Where were we last time? I think we were putzing around in the Falkreath. No, we haven't even been to Falkreath yet. We were putzing around in the Whiterun area doing bounties and stuff like that. I think we might have ended up in either Windhelm or the College of Winterhold. Um, I was making it my own personal mission to get these Black Phoenix Assassin map markers. This is the Black Sacrament armor mod. It also has some weapons and bow and some arrows and stuff that go along with it. But I want to get these map markers off my map because that's the kind of guy I am. I try to clear everything off my map and my journal as soon as possible. So we have made our way up to Solitude in order to do that. And I actually did the Meridia quest as well to get Dawnbreaker. And I haven't decided who's going to get Dawnbreaker yet. I will most likely give it to a follower, or I will just throw it in Elysium Estate over here, where I've been putting some of the other uniques up and kind of been filling out the trophy walls and stuff. So I might just do that. Okay, so I think off camera I did try to get this this guy off the map here, but there is an arch. I hesitate to say Archmage because that's the title of the College of Winterhold leader. But there is an Arch level mage over here. It could be an Arch Cryomancer, Arch Electromancer, Necromancer, just about anything. And they are always really tough. So I think in the interest of progress, I might go do Wolfskull Cave and Pine Moon Cave here first. Both of these were obtained from the Blue Palace. Wolfskull Cave, of course, is the Cry Wolf stuff quest from the House Carl over here, Falk Firebeard. And that, of course, kicks off a longer quest with multiple stages. That is within our reach for sure. And then there's Pine Moon Cave over here, which Sabile Stentor gives for you to clear out vampires in this den over here. So there's all that. I think we'll go ahead and take care of those two. It's getting a little bit late in the day, in game anyway. Oh boy, alright. Looks like Strudel has just informed me that the video is private, so that's why I have not been getting any viewers. How about that? Okay, new link is being set up. Oh, old link, but now the public thumbnail and stuff anyway. Alright, there we go. That should do it. Still don't see it popping up in... Oh, yep, there it is. It's in Bayo's Discord there too. Alright, I think we should be good to go now. Alright, thank you, Strudel, for the notification on that. I'm only able to stream until noon my time now, so in about 2 hours, so I was kind of in a hurry to get up and running, and I just missed the visibility. So thank you for joining. And thank you for letting me know that I was being an idiot. Okay, so on the agenda today, we are going to go do Wolf Skull Cave for Falk Firebeard at the Blue Palace. And I think we're going to do Sabiel's Vampire Quest over here too. We are at level 30, right on the cusp of level 31 here. And once we hit that, we'll have to do some block training, because I think that is lagging behind. And we'll see what other kind of trouble we're getting into here too. I've switched out Berlina's gear for something a little more fancy. I'm kind of going for...
I've got your
I managed to miss everyone else's pass. Oh, yeah. A lot of night owls lately, I think. I've been missing them too, to be honest. So I switched out Berlina's gear here for something a little more sorceressy from the Witcher series. Just a little something more than the bland robes that we had been dressing her out in. And then I switched out her big two-handed weapon for a dagger. That should encourage her to use her spells and her staffs a little bit more. We also picked up Mr. Miko here. I don't know that Brungarr is a dog person, but Miko seems to like Brungarr quite a bit, even if Berlina does not like the dog. And Brungarr seems to appreciate Miko's fighting spirit there. And so he is going to let Miko do as Miko will, and Miko chooses to follow us, so I think we will be taking Miko along with us for a little bit longer. And I just realized I said I was going to rest up for the afternoon before we went public here. It is 4:30. I believe it's probably going to be really late in the evening by the time we get done with all these different dungeons here that we want to take care of. Yeah, alright, let's take the opportunity. Let's see, Dragon's Bridge is going to take us way too far south. Yeah, let's just stay at the Winking Skeever for now. And yeah, my upload speeds have seemed to be spotty. I've gotten some buffering, but mostly just some video quality dips, so that's something I've been dealing with. I don't know what's going on with my ISP lately. Speed test seems to be doing fine, but every once in a while my upload speeds seem to drop, which affects quality of the streams, which is kind of a bummer. Alright, weaklings. Should take a lot more than 70 punches to put a man down, you know?
It's nothing.
There we go, finally. Alright. Corpulus.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend.
Alright, I think the news and rumors... Oh my goodness, I got a frog in my throat this morning. Excuse me. Pardon my my death noises over here.
Here, take a look at this.
There are a couple of interesting NPCs missions around Havengar here. Where's this Hjal March? I don't remember.
Sure
Let's
thing.
get this room.
It's yours for a day. Yes,
I know where it is.
I understand.
Okay. Wow, cool trick, Miko. Oh, you guys are getting along much better. Ah, see? She was cuddling with the dog. And then as soon as she sees me looking, she's like, what? I wasn't cuddling with the dog. In the background, I've heard her say, Yeah, ribbit, ribbit. In the background, I've heard her calling him a stupid dog and stuff like that. So I think she's acting like she doesn't like the dog, but, you know, actions speak louder than words. When you actually see it in action there. We will sleep until, or we will wait until probably about 9 o'clock here. We get a good early start to the
family I
next
ever had.
day.
I felt so lost when he died. But the crew of the Red Wave's my family now.
Well, I thought that was Berlina. I was like, you're complaining about your family all the time.
I tell you, the dragonborn comes
Maybe in
with a voice
the next Elder Scrolls games, they'll have a little more variety in voice acting. They got the money for it, I think. They've definitely had the time to record all those lines, that's for sure.
Of all Skyrim's foes. Beware, beware,
Okay.
the dragonborn come.
So let's get fed and watered. Or at least sauced, anyway. Go for the stew. Some bread to soak up the juice. Some pie for dessert. There we go. Some beer to wash it down, and then some water. And that should whet our whistle. Alright. 9 hours of sleep should put us at 6 o'clock in the morning there. And that'll give us a nice early start to the day.
And the legend yet grows.
Don't want to be taking on a vampire den in the middle of the night. Even if it is in a cave. If things go sideways and we need to hightail it out, we don't want them chasing us out into the night, right? Rather have them a little more hesitant about chasing us out into the sunlight. I've also been trying to do a little bit more on-foot exploration. I'm running a couple perks here that encourage that. One in restoration here. The Spirit Tutors, I found one of them already. Just out on the road. I think it was the road south from Windhelm. I encountered one, and he gave me a passive effect here. Spirit Tutors. Restoration spells are 1% more powerful per 20 points of magicka. So not hugely powerful because we don't have a huge magicka pool yet, but as we grow that, it will get stronger, and that will get even more stronger when we find the second Spirit Tutor. Also, I thought that fit with the whole shaman motif. I've also taken the wild shrines. I've seen pictures of them. I have never seen one actually in game yet. I haven't come across one, but apparently they're spread out throughout the wilds. They look a lot like the shaman totems, so I thought that fit with the whole motif as well. Okay, we got the crew with us. So yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit more on-foot exploration just to see if I can encounter... Ooh, there's a spirit over there. Oh no, that's just a window. It had the same kind of ethereal glow to it through the trees. I was like, speak of the devil, there's one of my Spirit Tutors. The Spirit Tutors, I think, occur randomly, and the longer you go without encountering one, the more likely you are to encounter one on the road as time goes on. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we encountered one pretty soon. Been forever since you've taken the Spirit Tutors or the Wild Shrines. And if it's Wild Shrines, I don't know that I've ever actually seen one. I might have to break down and just look on Reddit or something to see if I can cheat and find some of the locations, because what was the character I was playing? It might have been Jagasta. Oh no, I think it was Aralos, my druid archer. Had wild shrines active for dozens and dozens of hours, and I was going out of my way, just trucking through the wilderness trying to find these things, and I never found one. I finally broke down and took a look online just to see what they looked like. And that didn't help. Just never encountered one. The wild shrines. Yeah, apparently they're pretty well hidden, I think. Do you remember where you found that one? Because I was like going all out in the plains, the Whiterun Plains. Whenever there was like a group of trees or like a rocky outcrop occluding the terrain, I would go investigate and spend hours upon hours. Until I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm wasting my time here. Let's see. I think by the time we get through Wolf Skull Cave here, we'll be probably at the height of the day. So let's do Wolf Skull Cave first. I'm running at a much slowed time setting. I'm running at a time setting of 8, I believe. Time scale, anyway. So it's not like the vanilla timescale where, you know, you spend an hour in game and then all of a sudden it's the next day. Now my hotkeys are not working. Alright, I have to restart the game, actually. I think it's because I have a hotkey mod on that maps hotkeys to combinations of button presses on my controller, and that is heavily reliant on SKSE and the MCM. And if I leave the game running without using the controller for a while, that seems to go to sleep or die. And then only a restart of the game seems to get my hotkeys back on my controller. There's one on a small island in the middle of the river in the Reach. I want to say it's in the general area of Old Hroldon. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Maybe we'll go look for it when we're done with the Solitude stuff. Hello, Gail. Long time no see, my friend. I heard you got a new PC. You still working on that load order? Oh, wanted to watch some of the content for the Living Relic Challenge? Yeah, sure. So, I'll go through my character a little bit for you, get you caught up. So this is Brungarr Mammoth-Ban. Um, and he was found by the College of Winterhold students. Ah, that's better. I got my hotkeys back. Working on load order for Living Relic character, testing some mods now. Yeah, he was found frozen alongside the mammoth up here along the coastline of the Sea of Ghosts. I think it's like right up around here somewhere, where you find that mammoth encased in ice with some of those dwarven-styled spears around it. The college mages were trying to excavate the mammoth, thawing out the ice to try to do a study on the effects of Skyrim on the evolution of mammoths. So they were going to compare the mammoth in the ice to the mammoths of today, to see how things have changed over the thousands of years that mammoth has likely been there. And they were surprised to see a man stuck alongside him in there, kind of blocked, like, behind him. Turns out Brungarr Mammoth-Ban here was trying to please shore by taking on a mammoth all by himself. And, oh yeah, thank you. The combined might of both of their power caused a huge avalanche, and they got stuck underneath the ice and snow and earth. And the cold actually preserved both of them. Excuse me. That was a good one. That should keep me for a while. Brungarr here was one of the initial pilgrims from Atmora, or at least one of the migrants that were looking to settle Skyrim. So he has been frozen in that place for thousands of years, probably even pre-Empire. Well, definitely pre-Empire, because he was one of the first humans to make it down onto the continent of Tamriel. So he doesn't know the language or anything. And once they thawed out the mammoth and everything, Brungar's strength of spirit proved to be bigger than that of the mammoth. So once they thawed him out, he was still alive, much to the shock and awe of the mages. So he didn't know the language, either written or spoken. So the mages, the students and everything, especially Brelina, took him under their wing to teach him the ways of the new world. So he's a little bit of a fish out of water, but he always has one of the college mages with him to kind of show him around. But it's also a mutually beneficial situation, because he is more than happy to accompany them into the Nordic ruins and give them more of a first-hand account of how life in the Nordic ruins took place, and can kind of help them translate the different glyphs and runes and stuff that are carved on the walls there. He is Dragonborn. He's the first Dragonborn I've played in quite some time. And one thing that's troubling to him is how the preserved dead in these Nordic ruins are living. He's also encountered Dragon Priest. I think Croesus is the one close to Mount Anthor over here. I thought he was up here somewhere. I might be mistaken. Oh, this is probably Croesus. So Mount Anthor is up here. I don't know what this mountain's called. But up here at Sheerpoint. And he held the Dragon Priests in high regard when he was alive. But something seems to have corrupted them or angered them in some way and resurrected them. And he suspects that this corruption leads all the way up to Alduin himself, who he also had a great reverence for back in his own time. So he's trying to get to the bottom of that. But first he's got more pressing matters. There is the Eye of Magnus, which has been unearthed in Sarthal. And it sort of jarred his memory. That Night of Tears was all about that Eye of Magnus in there. They were trying to expand Sarthal because more people were coming from Atmora that needed lodging and living space. So they were expanding the city, and in their digging they came across this eye, and they immediately felt the power emanate from it. Okay, made quick work of that Draugr. So where was I? Oh yeah, they immediately felt the power coming from it. And we got to level up, yay. And some of their elven friends, so I should back up a little bit, and the Atmorans didn't hate the elves at first, at least in my alternate history timeline here. In fact, the elves welcomed them to Tamriel with open arms, namely the Falmer, the snow elves at the time, and the Chimer. The dwarves tended to keep to themselves a little bit more, but they were not actively hostile with the Atmorans. The effect that he has going on there, I'll get to that in just a second, Strudel. I do want to finish my train of thought on the story here before I get sidetracked, but I'll go over all that too. The shaman stuff is really cool, I think, and I think it deserves its own explanation here. Yeah, so the Chimer and the Falmer were quite happy to show them the ropes of this new land. I kind of thought when I came up with this concept, it was during Thanksgiving time, so I was inspired by the story of the pilgrims living mutually beneficially with the Native Americans that they encountered. So there was that whole theme that I was going for. The dwarves tended to keep to themselves, but they were still benevolent with the Atmorans. In fact, they kind of shared some of their knowledge on underground architecture with them. So the ancient Nords were able to create vast underground cities, just as the Dwemer, even though the Dwemer, they kind of kept to themselves a little bit more and did mysteriously disappear at some point. But some of their elven friends also sensed the power that they uncovered when they were expanding Sarthal, and came to warn them that some of the other elves would be very sensitive. Oops, I did not have my totem ready. Would be very sensitive to the power of this artifact. So not only was there a contingent of Falmer and Chimer to help protect this powerful artifact, okay, we gotta deal with this situation here. He's gumming up the works here. We gotta get him out of the way, and then we gotta take care of this Draugr that's causing us problems here. Okay, I wonder if the Draugr fell down. Oh, yeah, there he is. So yeah, a certain number of Falmer and Chimer gathered to help the ancient Atmorans protect this this powerful artifact from other elves, which would seek to use it toward their own end. It seemed that elves were quite sensitive to the power emanating from this artifact, from the Eye of Magnus, and they were drawn to it because of the power that it promised them, or at least that they saw. So another less benevolent contingent of elves. Oops, that is not where I wanted it, but hopefully that will reach. It's like it is. Probably led by the Heartland High Elves or the Aliads, felt the power of this artifact and attacked Sarthal, wiping out a lot of people. And that's the true Night of Tears story. Brungarr was one of the contingencies led by Isgrimor to come back and take back the city. So now the college is excavating Sarthal, and they have uncovered the Eye of Magnus once again. So that is kind of Brungar's top priority at the moment, is making sure that that the eye there is protected. But I am running the Not So Fast mod for the College of Winterhold that slows down that whole quest line a little bit. Can I get there? I gotta axe him. Pardon me, I gotta axe you a few questions. I am running the Not So Fast mod, so right now Tolfdir is spending a few days studying studying the eye to see what he can glean from it. So that questline will become available again, probably in a couple more in-game days, and I can focus on that once that pops back up. But to answer Strudel's question here, that sort of glowing effect there, that is visions of no, that is visions of healing, I believe. I have this hooked up to Okado's recital, so it procs automatically when I enter combat. Oh geez, now I can't remember if this is... I think this is Visions of Healing. Could also be Stave of Ferocity. I've used these all in conjunction with each other, so I'm not sure what the glowing effect is, but it is one of these three. I have these three hooked up to Okado's recital, and these are all shaman spells that come from Anision's Triumvirate mod that has a bunch of different spell archetypes, a bunch of different mage archetypes in there. So this is either Stave of Ferocity, which enchants your power attacks. If you hit an enemy with a power attack, it reduces armor, in my case, by 165 points and magic resistance by 27%. And I think that scales with your alteration skill here. So that's why I'm always looking to score a power attack, because it debuffs the enemy quite a bit, both to physical and magical attacks. I am also running Visions of Healing and Visions of Opportunity. Visions of Healing absorbs health from targets over time, which is really helpful. And Visions of Opportunity, which has the same effect as that power attack spell, but it curses foes randomly, one at a time, within 40 feet, with sort of the same effect there, reduction in armor and magic resistance. So the quote-unquote build for this character, the playstyle, is I'm going to cast a totem, which is a conjuration spell. Oh, I'm not in conjuration, that's why I can't find it. Tree totems, which do sort of like poison damage, damage over time, or I will do a water totem, which causes healing over time for allies. So the play style of this is to cast spells right away in combat that buff myself and my allies and nerf or debuff enemies. And then I'll go in, look for opportunities to use power attack. A lot of these spells really hint at using a follower, so that's what I've done. I'm trying to focus on the Triumvirate spells just because I want to explore them a little bit more, and I thought that the shaman motif really fits well with this character in Old Atmoran. Partially inspired by Ida Stag from Couch Warriors Barbarian series, I suppose. I would say that Brungar's general demeanor is a little more subdued than Ida Stag's. Little more shaman, little less barbarian, I would say. Although he's a little bit of both. Hello, Hastur, and see you later. Hey, good to see you guys join.
Wolf Queen, hear our call and awaken. We summon Tema. We summon Tema.
Alright, I want to take care of that mage.
No longer. Hear us, Wolf Queen. We summon you. We summon Tema.
So it's also a nice effect with those stave spells. Stave of Ferocity in this case. It has a nice little effect when you land a power attack. It just kind of adds a little more weight. When you hit someone with a power attack, it's a little bit of like an explosion. I think that's kind of cool. And it also lends credence to his backstory of causing an avalanche when he's fighting that mammoth. With explosive power attacks like this, you can see how that would easily cause an avalanche of snow and ice to come down from precariously frozen mountains, you know. Level up my block a little bit there. So he's pretty formidable on his own with his battle axe there. Ooh, forgotten magic. But I'm really trying to focus on the shaman spells. And I'm only up to adept level spells with him right now. I'm waiting till, well, actually the spells don't unlock in the vendors until a certain skill level in whatever school of magic you're trying to buy spells in.
Return me to this
So around level 75, I'll unlock the expert level spells.
What are you doing? You fool! You cannot
And the totems count as conjured minions. So you can conjure more of them if you get the right perks in Ordinator. But they're stationary, they don't move around like a conjured minion. But they will attract aggression. They will attract enemies, which is really nice. Sometimes you need to coax the enemy into the totem a little bit, but when you're not tanky, but you rely on melee damage, you know, dancing around a totem for a while, it's totally worth it to get the enemies to focus on beating on something else, you know. Oh, let's see. Let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Gale Ohm's living relic character will also be involved in College of Winterhold and Eye of Magnus, but in a much different way. But her lips are sealed. Intrigue. Can't wait to see what you come up with there, or what you have come up with. Oh, all this light. The spell that I'm casting in my right hand is Spirit Fire, this guy right here, and that just creates a pyre, and over time it drains 15 magic and stamina per second, and when both of those are empty, then it starts attacking health. So it really goes along with the debuff or nerf motif that I got going on with my opening spells here. Quite potent, as you can see. And I'm looting a lot right now because I need lots of money for training. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet because I got to concentrate on not dying. I am playing on Legendary difficulty, so I do tend to have to focus if you don't want to see me dying over and over again. Which, you know, some people actually do. Yeah, I am looting a lot of stuff right now. I need money for training in order to keep levels up with each other. And
Something is
because
wrong. There is an
the
intruder.
skill and perk distribution is wide, I have a lot of different skills that I'm trying to invest in at once. As a lot of different mage, warrior, hybrid characters tend to do. I am running an uncapper configuration that gives me a couple more perks over the course of several levels. So I think either every 5 or every 10 levels I get an extra perk. And then I'm also running this Sky Shard mod that when I find 3 of them, I get a perk point to spend. Which is helpful when you're doing these breadthy hybrid builds. Ooh, all these light effects are kind of making it hard to see, ironically.
It's nothing.
And as a shaman, Brungarr is sensitive to the spirit world. So I would think that he would be attracted to certain quests and dungeons that would involve things like spiritual possession or anything having to do with spirits. As well as, you know, the underlying goal of what I mentioned earlier, trying to figure out where this corruption of the Dragon Priests and Alduin is coming from. See you later, got lost in some projects. Yeah, I've been there. Fixed your CPU. Oh, you were having CPU overheating issues? The i9 is running at like 60 max now. Did that have to do with the overclocking you were doing? Breakable formation. Oh, this looks like it could be useful. I think this comes from the Arcanum spell package. Really cool mod. I suggest you check it out. It has a bunch of really complicated spells in it, but I kind of like that for like a magey character. A lot of the spells have like pros and cons. Like they're really powerful, but you pay for it in some other way than the magicka that you spend on it. I just love complicated spells. After spending, you know, how many ever thousands of hours that I've spent playing this game. Spells in the vanilla game are very rudimentary. Apocalypse spells are great, but you know, even those kind of get saturated after a while once you get used to them. The cooler was too small for the OC, had poor airflow. You know, that's funny. I went through all the same things recently. For years, I had run my CPU without an overclock, and it was running high, like at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius most of the time. And so just recently, I think for my birthday, yeah, it was my birthday, my wife got me a nice water-cooled cooler for my CPU, for my computer. So I put that in there, and I also ripped out the tempered glass front plate on my case because I think that was blocking airflow. So now I got a big radiator up front and a really gnarly looking PC case, but I got a lot of good airflow going through there. I also put a big fan on the top of the computer case. It didn't have one before. So it kind of sucks air out as more air is being pulled in. And now I'm able to overclock to, I think, 4.8 gigahertz above and beyond the 4.2 boost clock that it runs at. This is an i7 7700K. And it runs 70 degrees Celsius max right now. So I kind of went through the whole thing that you did, it sounds like. Took the whole PC apart and reconfigured how all the fans placed. Yeah, I had to. I had some fans that were pointing the wrong way, That's kind of what you get when you buy a pre-built sometimes. So, yeah, it sounds like a shared experience there. Is that the project you said you were working on, or are you working on some non-gaming related things? Okay, so now we can go back to Falk Firebeard and tell him that the immediate threat has been dispensed. But Brungarr, being a shaman, I think kind of knows that this isn't the last that we've seen of the Wolf Queen there. Brungarr is even older than when the Wolf Queen was in power, because I think the Wolf Queen was a couple generations removed from Tiber Septim and the founding of the Empire. Brungarr predates by a lot even the Empire. So this whole concept of an empire at all is very close to him. I would go as far as to say that Brungarr actually predates Serana and Harkon. That was one project that resulted from the others. Okay. Have some new Wabbajack installs. Ooh, yeah, Tale of Two Wastelands. That is a prime candidate for a Wabbajack, I think. That A Tale of Two Wastelands is kind of intimidating for me. All of my knowledge of modding is from pretty much Skyrim and Fallout 4, and they're very similar in the tools that you use. But once you go down into Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Oblivion, things change quite a bit. The overall structure of like the game install folder and stuff is kind of the same. You got your meshes, your textures, your ESPs, and stuff like that. But everything, all the file formats and stuff are so old that you can't just use Mod Organizer for everything. It doesn't work. So I've been hesitant to delve into that. But now that I know that they have a Wabbajack for it, Actually, I didn't play Fallout New Vegas until well into my Skyrim journey. And the engine, the Fallout New Vegas engine, is such a downgrade from Skyrim and Fallout 4 that it was hard for me to get into. The movement speed itself was really rough to deal with. Oh my goodness. That hurts. Oh my gosh. Okay, where did I save last? MO2 works fine with New Vegas? Okay.
Good dog.
Okay, I'm right over here. Subconscious me knew that this was a dangerous place. I think we can handle it though, as long as we can get the Spriggans to mind our totems and not mind us. Okay, I don't think they spawn until we loot the Alchemist here. Let's buy some space here. Oh my gosh, that poison spell has some range on it, doesn't it? Well, my totems have some range on them too, so eat that. There we go. Experience the potency of my spirit. Oh my gosh. Alright, that guy snuck up on me. He doesn't seem to want to attack the totem. She, I guess. Spriggans are female. But they are quite weak to the poison effect on those totems. That is encouraging. There was a third Spriggan here too. Great. Leaf dagger. Ooh, that's nice. The internet decided we didn't exist for about 10 minutes. Yikes. We've been going through some of that too. I think it's just because so many people are home right now that there's a big there's a lot of traffic in residential internet services right now. Ours has been spotty too. Sorry, just getting caught up on chat here. Fallout 4 Enhanced Edition and its Super Hardcore Horizon mod pack. It's really hard. That sounds interesting. I did like survival mode in Fallout 4, just the one that BGS provided. My problem with that was the saving. It didn't allow you to quick save anywhere. You'd have to save at like a bed when you slept. And the game, vanilla anyway, is, and even modded, it tends to be unstable. So I would be playing for a couple hours and I'd be desperately looking for a bed to save my place, and then invariably I would crash and I would lose all that progress. But I know that there are mods, and I'm running mods now that allow you to save in survival mode. "10 hours in and you're just about to hit level 5. You're taking it slow. That's good." Oh, sorry, Strudel. Well, it went pretty smoothly. I didn't actually die until I encountered these Spriggans on this little island here. Clear Pine Pond. Oh yeah, I wanted to check out that dagger. That was a cool dagger. Leaf dagger, huh? Very nice. Shiny too. I think this is one of Billy Rose daggers. I'm running the Billy Rose sword compendium that has all of his different packs in one, and he likes to scatter these unique weapons about the environment. Kind of gives you a Hobbit vibe, where Bilbo found Sting and Gandalf found Glamdring and all that. These legendary weapons just kind of scattered about the land. And I don't think that they're actually craftable either, which makes it even more of a special occasion when you do find one. I'm a fan. Oh, also I think in the vanilla survival mode that's provided by BGS, you can't access the console. And having access to the console is pretty crucial in playing the game, especially when it comes to getting stuck in terrain and fixing bugs and things like that. Characters that are stuck because their scripts haven't fired and you need to disable and re-enable them.
Look at that! A cave! Who knows what could be down there?
Probably vampires, as Sibyl was kind enough to tell us. Pretty sure you were there, Berlina. I think you need to start paying more attention. Miko is a tough guy. Tough dude.
Good dog.
Horizon adds a death recovery mechanic. You don't die, you just respawn at your nearest settlement. And if you are poisoned, it charges caps to heal you. Okay, yeah, I actually ran a separate mod for that a while back. I think it might have been called Death Alternative, much like I run in Skyrim. I wonder if vampires are immune to the poison from my totems. It doesn't look like they are. You see their health is going down ever so slightly there. Oh boy, this is gonna be tough. And I can't see shit. Alright. Brungarr is immune to disease because he is a werewolf. He accidentally drank some beast blood, and his driver, aka me, was not aware that sampling beast blood, which is also a CaCO alchemical ingredient, turned you into a werewolf. So here I am. I haven't, you know, that functionality by sampling the beast blood and turning into a werewolf is part of the Growl Werewolf overhaul by Anision, which I am running for this playthrough. Outside of the initial transformation, just to kind of check to see how the werewolf played and everything under Growl, I haven't actually turned into a werewolf or entered beast form in this playthrough. Although it seems like every night I have a 10% chance to transform. That does not seem to be activating for me. At least it hasn't yet. Maybe I'm just getting unbelievably lucky. Demon here is also from Billy Rowe's Sword Compendium. This is a very cool bound sword. How cool is that, huh? It has the exact same stats as the regular bound sword, but it looks a little cooler in my opinion. I can't believe after all these years there's still so many aspects of Skyrim that I have yet to try out. Never even played as a vampire or werewolf. Yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna say that through a hyperactive modding community, that the game actually grows faster than anybody can play it these days. But those are vanilla features. So, yeah, I can't defend you on that one. See you later. Cleansing meditation. Channel to restore 25 health and stamina per second and increase your armor and magic resist while draining your magicka. Release to send out a shockwave that deals 3 magic and staggers enemies within 20 feet. This just screams Arcanum. This is the kind of stuff you get from the Arcanum mod. I'm focusing mainly on shaman spells from Triumvirate for this playthrough. But I really do need to do another playthrough at some point, focused on exploring the spells added by Arcanum. It's a really great mod. I like it a lot. I just haven't done a playthrough yet where I focus on it much. Triumvirate, when it came out, got a lot of buzz, and I did watch a lot of the mod overviews on it, and almost everybody said that the Shaman archetype in that mod, the spells that came with it, they seemed weak, and I kind of wanted to... I did some analysis of the mods, and I was like, you know what? I think that these people are just not building their characters around it correctly. So I kind of wanted to prove to everybody that the shaman spells were quite powerful as long as you built your character in a specific way. The Triumvirate archetypes, Anai seems to be strongly suggesting very specific play styles with each one of these archetypes. And if you look at them, each one of them gives you a clue as to how it wants you to play each one of the spells. So you add up all those parts, and it kind of gives you a play style that will work best. And I believe this is what Anai Sion was hinting at most. Well, I'm going completely the wrong way here, aren't I? Maybe I should just head to Helgen. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I seem to just gravitate toward mundane characters. Well, yeah, watching your Arterius, good old Art, watching that playthrough, it seems like you, see you later, are drawn to roleplay more than anything, and just it seems like you're drawn to life in Skyrim for, its average citizen. Which, I am too. That's why I was so, obsessed with Dragonborn. Or, not Dragonborn, Skyrim Unbound, yeah. And playing non-Dragonborn characters for so long. Because, playing a Dragonborn character where you're pretty much set on this fixed path of this is what you have to do to save the world and you have to do it now. Being able to play as a non-Dragonborn character without... that sort of epic obligation became really fascinating to me. Not to the point where I wanted to roleplay like a farmer or something like that. But things like being a craftsman, like Artorias. I think I called him Arterius earlier. Is it Artorias? Art. And the whole property management and stuff. It was fascinating. Yeah, Artorias was the most mundane and not too far from what I normally would do. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm more of a classic video game nerd at heart, so I like analyzing, skills and perks and exploring playstyles. So my playthroughs tend to be more combat oriented, just because I like action video games. But I love that this game enables people with all different tastes. I think Gale is very similar to you. See you later in what I've seen from her characters and stuff. Tends to avoid combat rather than focus on it. Gale says, I did that too. She did the companions and left the beast blood so she would be immune to vampirism, but never transforms. Oh, Strudel. I'm sorry. People didn't need any help. Feeling isolated these days, right? Now that, you know, you have to go without internet for a while. That just makes it even worse. Catch up here. I've not played as a vampire or werewolf either, though one of my characters has werewolf blood. But okay, yeah, I was just catching up on the precursor to that other comment there. Actually, I only have 2 Dragonborn characters. It's always a shock to realize how much I depend on it. Yeah, the internet. It's not just you either. It's most of the world. When the internet goes out at work, like our entire company is like shut down. I mean, as a software developer, I can work on code that I have locally, but I can't upload it to our code repository or download changes or anything like that. I also can't rely on Google to tell me how to do my job at that point.
You know you can afford a septim or two.
Fresh fish. Fresh fish.
Perhaps you could spare
Living relic character won't be Dragonborn. Interesting. I'm really excited to see what you come up, or what you have come up with there, Gale. You know, I hope Balefish continues these challenges, or at least enables us to continue them in some way. I feel like Bayo needs a break. He's been a little bit absent in the communities and stuff lately. He used to be a driving force, if not the driving force, but behind community activities like this. I hope he gets the break that he needs and comes back, because I like Bayo a lot. But based on indications from him that he tends to float from hobby to hobby quite a bit,
What did you find at Wolf Skull?
I don't know that we'll see him
Stupid dog.
continue the same level of
Potema herself.
engagement
Please tell me
with
you
Skyrim and modding that he had before. I mean, I hope not.
You've done a larger service to the realm than you could possibly know. A resurrected Potema. I shudder at the thought.
Yeah, Brungarr doesn't know about Potema, but he definitely intuitively was able to tell that that spirit was malevolent and very powerful. Okay, did Sabine go back to bed? Looks like she may have. Oh, we'll take care of this while we're at it. Only the one? We got a lot of different enchanted items there, but looks like only the one. Oh yeah, the other thing that I did off camera that I didn't mention was I did complete the Forbidden Legend quest, so I am wearing the Galder amulet now. And with Zim's immersive artifacts, that has quite the nice effect on it. All skills are 10% more effective and increase 10% faster. And it looks cool with the Colovian for armor that we got going on with our shaman look here. I like it.
Be quick. I have little patience for mundane concerns.
Burnout is a real thing. Gale almost always uses Skyrim. Yeah. Let me back up here. See You Later says, I was doing non-Dragonborn back before there were alternate start mods, just using console commands, but really love Skyrim Unbound. Yeah, the thing about Skyrim Unbound is it also allows you to stifle dragon spawns, so you can live life in Skyrim without the dragon threat whatsoever.
For a mage.
It's just
I think you'll
Skyrim, and there's
appreciate
something
this.
quite inviting about that, I think. And Gale says she almost always uses Skyrim Unbound for her characters. Yeah, that is... I had profiles that used that used alternate start because I kind of like the roleplay aspect that some of those pre-built backstories have. They're kind of fun to play out sometimes. And some of the random start scenarios are pretty cool. Like the shipwreck start is pretty awesome. But I've since scrapped that altogether and just went all the way Unbound, because you can use Unbound to manufacture most, if not all, of those starts from Live Another Life, except for maybe that shipwreck one. So yeah, I've standardized on Skyrim Unbound as well. Burnout is a real thing indeed. And that's why Hauster has switched to Fallout. Nice. Switch up games from time to time. Yeah, I do too. I always play Skyrim in some capacity. Sometimes I will only play 3 or 4 hours a week, and sometimes I'll play 10 or 20 hours a week, depending on the free time that I have. But yeah, I've been going through, a 2 to 3 hours a week phase currently. Building the Soul Hub, or whatever it's called, was a large enough project to give anyone burnout. I hope we get to see it again sometime. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He put in a lot of work for that Ascendance series. And it seems like Stu might be in one of his Skyrim burnout phases too. I don't remember what his last message was, but I would love to see Castian's story continue in some way, shape, or form. But I do know that Stu gets burnt out as well. There was a lot of work that went into that series. And sometimes, when you have like a break for the holidays and you got some family stuff going on, you tend to lose your momentum. Strudel says she always uses Unbound, but it's pretty amusing that my non-Dragonborn werewolf character has been getting more dragons than Dragonborn. Yeah. It's kind of the luck of the draw with that if you do that random start. It's great to have options. Unbound is the most freeing for that, for sure. I agree. Okay, well, I just got word that my parents are on their way over to exchange belated Christmas gifts here. So I think I'm going to call it a stream right now. I know it was a short one, but I did want to kind of show off the progress. And for some people who maybe haven't seen my living relic, I kind of wanted to give a rundown of the backstory and stuff. You can catch the archive for some of that. If you missed it, I'm sure I will be going over it multiple times between now and the last week of the challenge in multiple ways, including video, maybe written, some other stuff, I think. Just depends on what I have time and energy for. But yeah, thanks for joining me for a short stream, I think. But it was fun hanging out with you guys, as always. I hope everybody has a great weekend and a great week. And I'll see you next time. And until then, take care, okay? Bye, guys.